Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? It is now February the 16th, it's a Friday, it's about 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin right here. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin and talk about the level 2. And we're just going to basically look at it together and do a different type of technical analysis on the fly, okay? So what we see is that Bitcoin actually formed this ascending triangle right here, and it looks like it's about to finish up its very third wave. Now, the third wave could go to roughly 10,700, 10,750. So we're going to look at the level 2 together and see what's going on here. Let me just pull this over. All right. Okay, so what we see is that a lot of people are starting to buy now, right? And we're seeing a lot of resistance around the 10,500 level. So we're going to read level 2, and I'm going to introduce you guys to it, how to do an analysis based on level 2, because it can indicate heavy momentum changes on the fly. Now, what the level 2 refers to is the order book with the trade history. So this side tells you all the people that are buying and selling. This right here are the people that are asking. These are the people that are selling, okay? That's really important to remember. This side right here are the people that are buying. So they're called the bidders. Now, what I like to do is mainly look at here. The way I look at it is I can paint a picture in my head just by looking at here. And I can't really explain it, but I think a lot of good traders out there, when they've done this a very long time, they can just look at the order book all day and it paints the picture in their head to give us an idea of momentum changes. So right now we can see that we're clearly breaking out higher than here, but the volume is what's lacking right now, okay? Despite us getting a higher high, it doesn't really matter too much because this is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is a very, very weak fifth wave that we're getting in here right now. So I'm not really a big fan of it. So I'm just gonna basically end up shorting more of some of my positions that I have here. I'm just shorting like 2,500 or something of IOTA that you guys see there. I'm just adding more to my position. I don't have much. It's not much at all. I'm more so just testing the waters, seeing how it's going, and we're seeing tons of resistance, right? In fact, it ended up breaking above there, and it just shot right back down. So whoever ended up going long in there ended up getting bull trapped. I personally think that there's really no good entry right now at all to enter Bitcoin. If we look at Bitcoin on any chart right now, we see a tweezer, we see a double tweezer right there, right? And we also see the volume just declining. It's really declining and starting to get scary almost. If we go to a different time frame, for example, a 3 hour, we see that it's actually getting high as well, right? It wants to cross over, but how much will it cross over? That's the question. Let's go to a 30-minute chart and a closer time frame and see what's going on here. So what we see is that this has actually made a lovely one-to-one extension, probably dead on, I'm guessing, from this wave here to this wave here to this wave right there. Yes, it made a very good one-to-one extension and a very possible target before a correction would be around 10,600 ranges. So now if we keep looking at Bitcoin, we see that 10,500 is such a critical resistance and we just simply cannot break it. What we're seeing is a lot of bulls and bears fighting. Imagine a tug of war. So you got to think of the bulls as the people who want to drive the market up so they can actually sell it at a higher price. And then you have to think of the bears as the people who want to drive the market down. They are also sellers and shorters as well. So the shorters are the people who want to bet against the market that it goes down. And how do you bet against the market? You use a margin position. And a lot of exchanges will, if they have it, they'll have something called funding as well. Funding is where you are borrowing your money to the exchange so other people like myself can margin trade in those positions. I like to margin trade only, not because I need the money, but because it actually gives me my position, right? It tells me what my position is, because if you play on an exchange account, it doesn't tell you. You got to manually do everything yourself. And I'm not really a big fan of that at all. So that's why I margin trade. And a lot of people will say, yes, there's a lot of risks with it. Big whoop, there's a lot of risk. I play the margin account as if it were my normal account, to be honest. It doesn't bother me one bit at all, guys. So we're having so much struggle just getting up here right now, right? 527 seems like a pretty hard resistance. 526. We just simply cannot break above this right here, about 533. That seems to be a really big number that just cannot break out of there. So we're just going to sit here together and we're just going to wait and we're just going to chill and we're going to do an analysis just based on reading level 2. So we see some people slowly buying, but not really in a big amount, and actually a very, very small amount, right? Just incremental. There, we see a big amount there. That should probably start triggering a cascade. That guy just dumped $100,000 right there, okay? Some guy just bought some more. Look at all those big dumps now, right? We can't even get above 10.5. And that's a really, really scary part right now. And that's why if you think of the risk to reward scenario, there's just not many good risk to reward scenarios to go on if you were to enter. So assuming that you guys are going to stick to my targets, for example, let's go to Bitcoin right here, okay? So 10,500, so let's say this is my scenario. Well, how did I get this again? Let's take a look at it together, okay? Let's go to a higher time frame, like a 2 hour. So how did I get that target again? Easy. I got my target right here, assuming that wave 3 hits slightly higher than the 161.8 and lower than the 261.8 region, right? But that can only happen, as I mentioned, if we break 10,500 with a lot of volume. It's a very critical point, and as you guys can see now from my technical analysis, it was pretty bang on, right? It's so bang on. And you know, how did I know that? Because it's in this region right here, okay? It's in this region right here, and it acts as such a psychological number right now. So let's bring back this again and see where we stand. Wrong one. There we go. So now Bitcoin is just teetering with lower volume declining. The market is starting to get very scared right now. They're saying, you know what, we're not really interested in buying anymore. And there's a lot of people who are panic selling, right? Some people are buying micro amounts, like we're talking under $10,000. But there are more sellers than there are more buyers from what I can see. The bulls are attempting to push it up, but I feel like they're not really being successful right now because it's just too hard for them to push it up. If they were to push it up, it would have gone up a lot already. Like right there, someone just bought 4.43, right? Will it signal other people to buy though? We take a look at the volume right here, and we just see the volume really crappy. We see the 30-minute chart going up, yeah, but this one looks like it's not going to get a higher high than it, right? It looks like it's going to just peak off like that and come down. Make sense? Like that right there. So we are finding somewhat support right here, but not really too much either. I feel like they're going to be hammering at the wall soon to come down, and it's just a matter of time, because I feel that all of the 5 waves are actually counted already. Yeah, so some people are still buying, right? It's important to learn how to read level 2, and just to get a feel of how the momentum is. So momentum can indicate a lot, and as a shorter who specializes in catching the top in very volatile times, and especially on shorter time frames, it's important for me to learn how to read level 2. Because if I don't know how to read level 2, then I'm not going to be able to time my entries and my exits very well. Sometimes when you see, for example, a wall of red, you definitely don't want to be in that position anymore because you just start to feel the market panicking. And when you see a lot of green, right, if it's attempting to shatter a wall, then you might want to go into a long position and break the wall with them near the very end of it, breaking down. So here, we're still at a very massive standpoint. There's nothing changing whatsoever, and it's good. I'm actually very happy, not because I'm in a short position, but because I believe that Bitcoin needs to correct. And because Bitcoin needs to correct to a very decent level, it's the only way that it can actually make a higher high right now. See, we're seeing a lot of people trying to buy it in the 500 ranges, but is it actually going to move up any higher than that? That's the big question, right? So now we're at 519. How much higher can it get is the question before people decide to take profit or before the bears enter their short positions. So there's a lot of variables to consider. But the important thing is that we always keep an eye out on the level 2 if we're day traders. If you're a day trader or not a day trader, it won't really matter too much to you because this is always in the moment, during the moment. So we see more people selling now in small amounts, right? Some people are buying, some people are buying, some people are selling. But everyone is more so buying very, very small amounts right now. There's no whale that's coming up, right? Like no one's buying 50 Bitcoin at a time, for example. Someone spiked it up to 11,520. Great. Will it bring up the other alts as well? This looks like it's about to be the start of a rally. 520, right? There we go. There's 4. Will it go up to 1050? Or 10,500, I mean. You guys know what I meant. There we go. We're finally on an uptrend, guys. Yahoo! Okay? We're finally about to break to go to a higher high right now. But the question is, how much higher are we actually going to get? That's always a big question. If we look at the 15-minute chart, we see that it's definitely peaking, right? It's probably going to get to about 10,750 in my opinion. And then we're going to do a major correction to even the 9,500 possible areas. These corrections, unfortunately, just need to happen. If they don't happen, it's not a normal part of the cycle growth, or the market growth rather. So what goes up really fast, unfortunately, needs to come down as well, right? We need to acknowledge that fact always. Don't mind me, I'm just a little bit tired today. It's getting kind of late now. Right after this video, I'm actually going to go to bed. I just wanted to make it for you guys to see how we should be looking at level 2, how we should be analyzing it, how we should be just reading it in general, right? So people are starting to buy now, as you can see. On other coins as well, people are slowly starting to buy. Now, how extended of a fifth wave are we going to get? An extended fifth wave, in my opinion, is really necessary for us to reach some very high highs and to break well above that 161.8 fib level. But just based on how the momentum is going, and based on the volume itself, it just doesn't seem like it's actually likely right now for us to get into a higher high. So that's why I'm shorting it right now. That's why I'm shorting coins like IOTA, because I just simply cannot see it getting much higher than this right now. I don't really go long much, if you guys have noticed. I like to short a lot more because it fits my personality, and I'm much better at catching the top because I'm not good at catching the bottom. And because I'm not good at catching the bottom on a breakout, I like to focus on my strengths instead. And definitely one of my strengths would be finding the top, and that's when I short it. So now if we look out here, a lot of people are selling, right? Pretty big amounts of sellers actually. Someone just dumped it to the 530 ranges all the way from the 5550s. Or sorry, the 550 ranges. Some people are slowly buying up. I'm still shorting more because I believe we're very much so near the top. So we're just chilling here together, guys, while I show you guys what's on my mind, while I talk about some of the processes involved of trying to break a wall. I have to sit up. I'm so slouched on my chair right now. I got like one of the most comfortable chairs in the world. It's a brand called Global. It's a Global Roma chair. I paid like a little bit too much for the chair, but if you guys are day traders, make sure you have like a very comfortable setup and you take care of yourself physically, you know? Get a good chair, get a good desk, get a good keyboard, get the whole 9 yards. So as you guys can see, right here, this guy's just dumping, right? The 532, 531, we're at 530 now, 525, oh geez, right? People are actually dumping right now. So I'm gonna market execute some of my IOTA, and I'm gonna put up like a 4,000, no, maybe not 4K, maybe like 3,000 or something like that. Let's see what I can do here. Yeah, I'll go like 3,000. Let's see if I can drive down the price a little bit, okay? 1886. Okay. I'm gonna put a 3,000 order there of IOTA. Try to drive down the price a little bit. Canceled it actually. I don't think I need to. If I'm looking at IOTA, for example, right here, okay? See IOTA, people are already driving down the price, right? Already driving it down quite a bit. So with IOTA, for example, do I want to put another 500? Yeah, if it spikes upwards, I'll do it, but only if it meets the criteria of actually getting to this price right here. So now I'm back to Bitcoin, and we're still looking at this critical moment, okay? We're seeing a lot of wicks, guys, reject. Wouldn't you agree? Look, lots of wicks rejecting. We count basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 already. The target right now is 10,500 and about $90. We pretty much hit 10,058 already, which means that there's a very good chance that this will actually come down now that we've officially hit targets. So I'm going to put another $1,000 for Ripple here, or sorry, not Ripple, or 1,000 coins rather. Nah, maybe 500, another $1,000. 18879. Someone just buying me up. That's great. Perfect. I'm just going to change my order here in front of you guys. I'm not shy at all about sharing my desktop, guys, okay? So I have 5K in my margin account that I'm keeping in there for today. It's slowly going to go up because I just don't feel like playing a lot. 5K lets me play over 17, 18,000, and the way I manage my risk is like a boss anyway, so I'm not really too worried. You know what I mean? Alright, so I'm in a position for 3,300 or 3,499.99, like that. So let's take a look at Bitcoin and see what's going on. Bitcoin's volume is still slowly declining. We are in very, very overbought regions right now. Not quite yet here. This one looks like a bearish flag, believe it or not. The RSI, okay? The RSI looks like a bearish flag to me, and it's eventually just going to pop down. Like, look at it. What does that look like to you guys? I don't call that support. I call this a bearish flag on the RSI. And let's see if I'm right, okay? See what I mean there? Let's see how this works out. So we're seeing rejection here on the 5-minute chart now. We're seeing more people selling, but it did spike up from, you know, the 10,530 range to 10,560-ish or 56. But keep in mind the target is right here, guys. This is the target, this blue one, okay? I'm going to change it so you guys can see the color. That blue one's really hard to see. See? That's the one right there, the blue one. The 168.1 level. So because we're just about to hit it, or we hit it already rather, I just cannot foresee us getting higher than this right now. So this is the way that I look at level 2. And yeah, we're just going to keep going at it. Ooh, look at that, 10,600. Someone just spiked it up a little bit. All right. But my other coin, let's see what coins are following it right now, okay? Bitcoin shorts are definitely going, no, they're not really changing. Bitcoin long, a little bit is changing. IOTA is the one that's on my mind the most, right? Obviously, because look how overbought it is. Ripple is not really moving at all. I already closed my Ripple position today. Made a really nice profit on it. I can't complain about it. Litecoin's doing kind of nothing right now. It's just hovering there as expected. Let's go check out EOS. See what EOS is doing right now. Actually, this one should probably go to NEO. This one should go to EOS. There we go. So we see Bitcoin now at 10,570, 74. There's really not that much resistance to go down actually when you think about it. Sure, the wicks are being rejected, but it doesn't mean much unless there's also rejection to the downside. So if there were wicks going to the downside more than the upside, well, we got to ask ourselves, how long can these bears hammer on the downside until it goes down? And we also ask ourselves, how long can the bulls actually hammer at the support before it goes up? So sometimes you just never know, and we play it ear by ear to see what is happening. And the best way to take a look at it, guys, is not on the candles, but the actual level 2 action that I'm trying to show you guys in here, okay? So here, looks pretty decent, right? Here it looks more bullish, of course, than bearish, no doubt about it. But here we see waves 1, 2, and 3. Let me double check this, okay? 1, 2, and 3. It's almost done. Let's go to a different time frame. I mean, if you guys actually look at it right here, based on Elliott wave count, if we do something like this, right, where we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's got to be a fifth one somewhere up there, perhaps, right? That's probably a fifth one right there. Does that look like a reasonable count to you guys? Right? Look at it, right? It looks really nice to me. When I do an Elliott wave on the MACD, sometimes I spend a lot of time just analyzing like this, right? Doesn't this look like it just makes sense right now? Okay, this makes sense, right? And then if you even go to your ABC corrective pattern, it also makes sense in here as well on the histogram, where it goes from here and it ticks up a little bit and then goes back down. So on the histogram, it even makes sense to me that everything is pretty much accounted for. It's just a matter of how much higher is this one going to go. So it doesn't seem like it's going to actually get much higher, okay? Look how much struggle there is. There's so much struggle right now on the histogram where we're actually down ticking on the 5-minute. We're leveling off on the 15-minute. People are probably selling. People are selling. Yeah, people are selling. So these types of analysis, they're very important to do. Definitely extremely important to do, guys. And you guys have to make sure that you're very diligent when it comes to doing this. Look at this. People are selling now. Wow, wow, wow. You guys see that just now? There's this guy trying to hold up the wall with 34. Okay? He's trying to hold up the wall with a 34 count. 15 now. They're trying to push up the price, but I don't think that they can actually be market movers. I don't think that right now they can will the market to go their particular direction. So it's still pretty slow right now. You know, there's not like heavy volatility. That's okay though. So people are buying up. That's a good spike. It could also be scaredy pants who decide to close their short positions because they think it's going up. That could be one as well. So you notice all the time was 18. You can actually group up the level 2 by the people that are selling at the same second. So this right here is one person, right? 29. What are the chances of 2 people selling at the exact same time at the exact same second, right? It can happen, absolutely. But when you see one big flash here, it's usually not, right? Usually it's gauged by the second. So it's possible that it's different people, but also not likely though. So now we're at 1530 and we see a lot of resistance to go down. We see these guys trying to hold up the wall at 11,530, or sorry, 10,530, but it's just not going to happen. I think too many people are going to shatter it. There's now a 15 count there, so we don't exactly know how many these guys are actually trying to sell. See, there's a guy trying to sell 1.98, 1.9, and look at the count. It's actually at 17 right now. So there's quite a bit of resistance, and I'll be back when there's more of an update. Okay, what we're seeing a lot now is still a lot of bearish pressure, okay? There's so much bearish pressure to go down right now. like just tons of pressure. And I've actually entered myself into an amazing position already for IOTA. Extremely happy about it. Take a look. So here's my position for IOTA right now. It's about a $7,000 position here. And I'm gonna close mine at about, you know, not too far down here, just at 14. It's pretty reasonable in my opinion, right? It's not really that bad. So yeah. So I'm looking to make $35, whatever. I'm more so here to narrate for you guys the level 2 action going on right now here. Okay, I'm back. So I just need to get a drink, and if you guys see here, I closed my position, or I didn't close it, someone dumped onto me, right? Quick $41 there. I closed it at 1681, and look at the low here, it reached about 169. So I can time it to the point where I can easily pinpoint, guys, down to the penny almost sometimes when I'm trading, right? That's how accurate I've been lately. So yeah, so I'm just going to close it right now. I always leave 0.01 left or something small, just so it'll reflect how much I actually made. Then I just close it and I take my $41 profit and I'm done with IOTA. So this is on the 1 minute chart here for Bitcoin. But we'll take a look here as well, the 2 hour chart. It doesn't look like it's going to hit here, to be quite honest, okay? It's going to look like, excuse me, I'm just a little bit tired right now. So if you look at here, I mean, the volume is dying off here with an hour left to go about, right? The volume is slowly, it's all right, actually. Maybe we'll be on pace to hit it. Who knows? The way I'm reading this right now is if this was 1, 2, and that was 3, where this goes 1, 2, or sorry, 1, and then this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. This, you know, makes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, somewhere in there, something like that, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that looks about good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And here we're looking for 5 waves as well. And do we see 5 waves? Not really. We see 1, 2. We see subwaves of 1, 2. Let's count it here together like this. It looks like it's about to make its way up there, right? Eventually it'll make its way up there to about 10,800, maybe 11,000. What did I specify? I can't remember. 10,750 to 11,200, right? It's making its way up there, definitely. But if we look on the 1 minute chart, it's not really that nice right now. It's definitely correcting in some sort, right? We don't want to analyze it on a 1 minute chart, that's for sure. We see this as 1, 2, and this is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this will most likely correct down to about, I'm guessing 10,300 or so. Yeah, 10,300 or so. And then eventually it's going to make its way up, I think, for one last subwave to exactly where we want it to be. So I'm just going to leave the video off like this for now. I just wanted to give you guys a quick idea of how to read level 2 while looking at the order book, and that's a really important skill to have. So as it stands, my technical analysis, it still stands, guys. I still think we're going to hit target around 10,750 to 11,200, and then once we hit those targets, we'll most likely end up correcting all the way down to possibly 10,000 ranges, okay? Around 10,000, that'll be a very good psychological number. So 10,500 to 10,200, or 9,500 to about 10,000 right there. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I apologize if it was long. I think that you guys need some practice with learning how to read level 2, and I'll be introducing a lot more of these types of videos, and I'll make sure that the content is diverse, right? You don't want to focus just on charts. You guys want to see live trades. I know you do. You want to, like how I just mixed it up in there. Even though it was only $40 profit, you guys got to understand that $40 is what a lot of people make in a day, right? Much more than what people make in a day. So we have to be grateful for every little profit that we make, and we can never be thinking that we're above anyone else, right? I know in America, like, you know, what is the minimum wage in America? Minimum wage in the United States is about $7. Well, do the math, guys. If you're working 8 hours, you know, you get paid for 7, that's like $49 or something. You take off taxes, that's $40. And I literally just made 8 hours of work equivalent in 30 minutes, not even. So I'm always very grateful for these types of experiences. So anyways, these are my thoughts. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I'd really appreciate upvoting on Steemit, and make sure you guys also like, subscribe, and share the material as well if it has helped you in some way or another. Other than that, have a great night. My targets still stand, and I'll see you guys tomorrow because I'm going to actually hit the sack. Bye now.